So my next fact that I want to share with you guys is this. Your brain, on average, generates up to, are you ready for this? 50,000 different random thoughts in a day. Up to 50,000 of random thoughts in a single day. And these come from all kinds of different places. This come from, even if you're walking around and you're seeing something visually, because a lot of these get generated because of your different senses, right? You see something and all of a sudden something gets triggered and associated with you in the past or whatever it might be, right? Or you are just experiencing something in the moment. Your brain constantly generates different thoughts. Think about it. You have 24 hours in a day, and at least 8 of those hours you sleep. So, rest of the hours, your brain generates about 15,000 thoughts. By the way, your brain generates thoughts when you sleep, but those are different kinds of ones, right? So, what does that tell you? Why is that important? Why am I sharing it? Talk about using up energy, especially those multitaskers. You multitaskers on the call, raise your hand. I know I can't see you, but you guys are going to be raising your hand right there. I will argue that multitasking does not work. Here is what I mean by that. Is your brain is incapable of holding 2 separate thoughts at the same time. And if you don't believe me, try it right now. Try holding 2 different thoughts in your brain right now. You can't, right? So what ends up happening is those different thoughts, you're constantly jumping from one thing to another. And when you're constantly jumping from one thing to another, what ends up happening is you lose your stream of this consciousness, right? You lose when you were focusing on something, you lose your focus, right? Your brain has to jump into different neural pathways. It has to do a lot more work, which requires a lot more energy, which in turn, what ends up happening is you get tired a little more quicker. You notice that multitaskers. So what ends up happening is the reason why I say it doesn't work is because it actually will take you a lot more time to complete different tasks when you're multitasking as opposed to when you are just focusing on certain aspect of what you want to do. And that's what I mean by that. And when your brain generates 50,000 thoughts a day, you want to minimize that, not make it even worse by jumping back and forth.